Well, for more on the tragic crash and its impact on the airline industry, I'm joined by Ross Amer, live from Irvine, California. He's the CEO of Aero Consulting Experts. Thank you for joining me.
My pleasure, Rachelle.
Now, when you have two fatal crashes 5 months apart with the same Boeing 737 MAX 8 model, obviously a lot of questions from concerned travelers, lawmakers, and of course investors. How should Boeing be handling this situation?
Well, Boeing should come forward with honesty and technical expertise. And if there is anything wrong with that airplane, they would have to tell the public and the customers. This is, although this latest incident or accident may not be the exact one with Lion Air, but obviously everybody believes that having two crashes so close to each other of the same new design of the aircraft, it doesn't look good for Boeing.
Now, some regulators, including Boeing's heaviest user of the 737 MAX jet, China, as well as Indonesia, are grounding these models until more information comes out. And news agency AFP says U.S. regulators are asking Boeing to modify the 737 MAX. What are your thoughts on the steps that these lawmakers are taking?
Your transmission was slightly garbled, but the steps that Boeing is making, obviously they're looking into the system that was unique to the 737 MAX, which is that MCAS system, which is suspected that possibility of the Lion Air crash. And now with this new one, the ADS-B data that we looked at, it looks kind of similar. But again, it's too early to make any kind of speculation. This could not be the same thing as the previous crash. But I think Chinese have actually taken the right step by grounding to make sure that there's no more crashes while Boeing is looking into this very seriously.
Now, before this tragedy, Ethiopia Airlines, Africa's largest carrier, had a strong reputation and a good safety record. So how does one separate an airline's reputation from the plane model's reputation?
You're absolutely correct. Ethiopian Airlines is one of the oldest airlines in the world with a fairly good safety record. And again, it's too early to blame the aircraft or the pilot. But the fact is that the two similar crashes happened exactly on the same type aircraft. It's raising a lot of questions from the customers, from the airlines themselves, the pilots, the flight attendants. The good thing about this particular crash is that, as you mentioned earlier, they've discovered both data, flight and voice recorders, and we should know very quickly that what happened in that aircraft.
Now, while obviously Boeing is still trying to connect these dots, just how costly could this latest crash be for Boeing now that planes are starting to be grounded?
This will be very costly, I'm afraid, for Boeing in terms of compensation to the victims. If the aircraft is grounded, they would have to compensate the airlines for their loss. So I'm afraid this will definitely cost Boeing a lot of money.
Now,
and their reputation.
Now, as the newest model in Boeing's fleet, this streamlined, more fuel-efficient plane was supposed to really represent the future. How damaging is this second fatal crash, not just for Boeing, but for the airline industry overall and some of the safety checks?
It won't really be as costly to the airlines as much as it would be to Boeing. If this is, it turns out to be the fault of the aircraft, that system that is unique to the 737 MAX-8, Boeing would have to do a lot of search in their soul, in the corporate culture, and also in trying to fix the problem, if there is one.
Ross Amer, CEO of Aero Consulting Experts, thank you so much.